In this video, it was Saskia's first messy play session. Hi everyone, so a few days ago, Saskia did have her first messy play session. I did film a few little clips that I'm going to insert as I talk through what happened. It was so busy, there was so many people there, I couldn't really film too much, and obviously I was busy getting messy and playing. So yes, so I wanted to take it to messy play as soon as I was able to. Basically, you can take them from 6 months on, or as soon as they can sit up unaided. So that's what I did with Saskia. I think she was just shy of 6 months and she could sit up on her own. So I decided to take her. And I was so excited. I was so excited to see her reaction to getting messy. Because obviously she hasn't experienced that before, so I didn't know what she was going to be like. I know she loves water, so I know she'd like that aspect of it. But I didn't know what she'd be like with, you know, all the gungy stuff. Anyway, it was actually their birthday bash. It was like an anniversary of the company, so it was a little party. Yeah, so I haven't got anything to compare it with, but there was music playing. They had a foam machine. Anyway, so yes, when we got there, we all queued up outside, and then they let us in. We gave our name, and then we found a place, took our socks and shoes off, and then I stripped Saskia down to her vest so she could get messy. It was advised to put a swim nappy on them, just, you know, if they want to sit in the water. First I started putting her in the quieter sections just so it wasn't too overwhelming. But first thing she sat in was a bunch of colourful feathers, and I think there was toy birds in there, which actually she liked. She loved the feel of the feathers. She kept picking them up, feeling them, and obviously that one wasn't messy. And then we moved on to spaghetti that they had cooked and put food colouring in, so they're nice and sticky and colourful. And I think I would say that was her favourite thing. That is something that we went back to after everything else as well. So she was, I was quite surprised by how much she actually played with things. So she would pick up the spaghetti, pull it apart, put it down, pick up some more, pull it apart, and just, you know, and so on. Just putting it in her mouth, just exploring, and loved it. She loved being around other kids. If someone sat down next to her, she was wanting to be next to them. She's got a thing with feeling people's faces, so she wanted to feel their face. And she's just a very sociable baby. I don't know where she gets it from, because I was never like that. I'm not like that now. I don't like to be in social situations and talk to people. But yes, then we moved on to, I'm not sure what it was. I'm not familiar with what they use as of yet. It's like a sticky, gunky water. She did put her face in it. But she loved it. She thought it was hilarious. She was playing with the rubber ducks and all the little toys in there. And again, she loved getting wet. She was wiping it everywhere. And this is the point where I started to get messy as well. So we then moved on to a like a bubbly, foamy, like a bubbly pit. Sort of smelled like washing up liquid. There was slinkies. She loved the slinkies. And as you can see, her face is a bit messy now off the last tray we were in, where she put her face in it. We went on to a few different trays. So there was a bunch of cornflakes with shredded wheat in, I think. Some little minion toys which she was playing with. And then in the end we went back to the spaghetti. She was playing with the bugs in there and the spaghetti and the little tongue things that were in there. But as she gets older, I think there is more activities for her to do, like there's decorating cakes, So at the minute, I think she would just eat it, which is fine, but you know, other kids would want to decorate them. There's finger painting, wall covered in paper for them just to go get messy and just cover this paper. So as she gets older, she can do things like that. Once she's crawling and standing, there's different things, different boxes with things in that she wouldn't have been able to reach at this age unless I sat her completely in it. And it was just a thing that I didn't, the type of box that it was a bit too small for have her sat in it while other kids were wanting to play in there. As all this is going on, there is people walking around with bubble machines, spraying bubbles everywhere. There's people taking photos, which I love. I love that idea because I couldn't get that many photos because obviously you're busy, you're getting into it. So I'm glad that someone else is concentrating on that aspect of it, because if anyone's like me, I love to capture everything. And then at the end, I'm not sure whether this was just because it was their birthday party or if they do it every time, but they got everyone together, they put the music on louder, and then they got a foam machine out, so everyone got covered in foam, and obviously the kids were sat there, loved it. Then once it's all done, so it goes on for about an hour. I do think the full hour was a little bit too long for Saskia, so I did get her ready a little bit earlier. It was just, she's so young and it was very overwhelming, but for older kids I think the hour is great. So once that's all done, they then get you know, water out to get them cleaned up and ready to go home. So once I got her ready to go home in dry clothes, they then give her a certificate for her messy play, which again, I love documenting everything. And yeah, that was Saskia's first messy play experience. I'm glad I caught a little bit of her first reactions. I kind of sad I couldn't get a little bit more. It might have been better if someone else was there with me, but I did have to go on my own. But hopefully Daddy can come next time and we can get a bit more messy and capture a little bit more. But yeah, that's it from me. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.